Hello, guys. Good evening. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Please, I want you guys to listen to this very short video I want to do. I want to make a very short explanation. Um, I saw a comment yesterday. I actually took my time to reply that guy. I don't know him. I don't know that he's a man or a woman, okay? But the person was actually trying to give the impression that when someone buys a house, a property abroad, or you buy an exotic or luxury car abroad, that you shouldn't celebrate it. I think the person made a comment like this: taking credit or mortgage to buy a property and making noise everywhere. Okay, making it look like it's actually easy or cheap to take credit that, or that anybody that lives abroad can have access to mortgage or take credit. That is false information. Let me explain this to you. There are a lot of conditions before bank can grant you credit or mortgage or loan in this country or anywhere in the Western world. Number one, if you live in Austria, some states in Austria, if you've not worked for like 5 years non-stop full time, you won't be able to buy a property. If you have just resident permits, some states in Austria will not allow you to buy a property. Some states will permit you to buy a property only when you're a citizen of Austria. And your partner must also be resident even if you're a citizen, okay? Because both of you are going to be buying the property. Apart from that, you must have good credit. What it means is this: that even if you've taken loans from bank before now, you are paying up those loans, that your accounts are not always on minus negative, meaning that the money you're earning, your expenses are higher than your income, or you are not able to manage your funds properly. And if you're not paying your bank loans very well, you won't be able to buy a house, a property, because you're going to be paying those mortgage like a loan in a bank. You'll be paying monthly. Okay, so no bank would want to risk giving you mortgage, especially as an immigrant, an African living in these countries. Okay, in other countries there are conditions, but I know generally all over the world, if you don't have good credit, no bank will risk giving you a credit to buy a land or a house or a car. Okay, so I made that post congratulating our sister that's posted her second car and the duplex she built that her husband went to supervise, and these comments came under that. Let me break this down for you to understand it well. Okay, let's say for instance that you live in UK, you live in anywhere in Europe, or you live in the USA. You want to buy a house of, let me say, $400,000, pounds or euro. 400,000 is something at this time, 2024. A property of 400,000, you won't say it's too expensive, because some people buy properties of 1.1 million, $2 million, pounds, 1.6, 1.5, like Coral Beauty bought for 1.6. Okay, so let's work with just 400,000 euro. Okay, most of the banks or states you live in Europe here, you need to deposit a minimum of 20% of the value of the property you want to buy. Some states will charge more than 20%, some charge up to 40% or 30% or even 50%, depending on the laws and the states you live in. Let's work with the lowest, the minimum 20% upfront. Okay, if you are expected to buy, or you want to buy a property of 400,000 euro, dollar, pounds, and you're supposed to drop 20% euro, 20% of the 400,000 euro. 20% of 400,000 is 80,000 euro. And I don't know how many people, immigrants, that save money anywhere they are to have up to 80,000 in their account. Most of you might have more than that, okay? So after dropping the 80,000, government expects you to pay extra 9% of the value of the property. That is 9% extra of the 400,000 euro. That's about 36,000 naira. Sorry, euro. Okay, so you are expected to have in your bank account cash about 116,000 lying down there for you to be able to be qualified to buy a $400,000 or pounds or euro property. Remember, if you're paying more than 20%, you are going to be expecting to have more than 116,000. Presently in Nigeria, $1 is about 1,350. 1 euro is about 1,455 naira. I changed euro 2 days ago for 1,455. That is why I'm working with that value. Okay, so 116,000 euro by 1,455 is a whopping 168.7 million naira. 168,000 million. Okay, sorry, 168 million. Sorry guys, I said 1,000 million. 168 million plus. Okay, so if you have 168 million cash or 150 million in naira, man, you can buy property, duplex. You don't even need to build. With 100 million, you can actually buy an already made duplex. There are a lot of estate companies, good ones, that build and keep for people to buy. Mini duplexes you can live in, well built, brand new. You've paid for it one time. But if you're living abroad, this is money you pay, one-time payment you pay, and then you are now qualified to start paying this mortgage these people are talking about as if it's an easy thing. And after calculating the mortgage, bank will remove 80,000 from 400,000. You now have 320,000 left. They will now spread it out for you to pay for like 20 or 30 years. Most states do maximum of 30 years or maximum of 25 years, depending on your age. And after the calculations, you might end up paying about 1,000 or 1,500, between 1,000 and 1,500 monthly for the next 20, 25 or 30 years. Now tell me, which one do you think is easy? When you hear people talk about life is easy in Europe, life is easy. See, it's easy, it's flexible because the government supports you. But when you see somebody who owns a property abroad, don't look down on that person. The conditions to get properties, I only mentioned few. Okay, each country and state have different conditions. Don't listen to people who live abroad and they don't have any idea of what it takes to acquire properties. If you have anybody a content creator that posted his or her achievement, that like there was a time Ugobe posted a house she bought with her husband in the UK. Buying a property in the UK is not moi. The mortgage don't just come like that because you've lived there or because you're a citizen. There are monies you need to drop, and the amount of money you're supposed to drop to own a good house abroad in the city, bigger cities, will be more than enough for you to buy a ready-made duplex in Nigeria and pay cash. Same thing goes to when you're buying a luxury car, an exotic car. If you're going for a car that is over 100,000 in euro, you're expected to deposit at least up to 30 to 40,000. And how many people can drop 20,000 cash to start paying loan credit for car? How many Igbo people can do that? So these are qualifications, and you don't just go to a car company and get a car on credit. You need to have a steady job. Most car companies will ask for your pay slip for the past 1 year. They will look for your credit records and a lot of other things. How many people have good credit records? It takes people who are resilient, committed, and focused to get properties or investments abroad or anywhere in the world. I will encourage you with this video, if you live abroad, please try as much as you can to invest where you stay. Even if you desire to invest back home in Nigeria, please make sure you have a property in your name in the country where you stay. It's more secured. For security reasons, there is no security in Nigeria. Anything can happen to the properties you have back home. This is where I'm going to be ending this video. Please, let us stop all this cyberbullying. Let us stop all this saga fighting each other and all that. It doesn't matter if you don't like the person. If you don't like a post or you don't have an idea, don't give people false information on something you don't know anything about it. Encourage each other to do better in their lives. That is why we're on social media, to teach people to become better people wherever they are. Love you guys. This is Daisy's Empire. Please share this video. Bye-bye.